Hello and welcome back. What I want to do is remind you that remember that these videos are part of a series of videos. So it's best to start at the beginning of the section because this is part of our teaching program, right? It's different to the revision playlists because revision playlists will try and give you a crash course. These playlists are meant to take you from the beginning of the section and build up. Okay, so we are continuing with one-term expressions that involve exponents. And the key thing to remember over here is if you know absolutely nothing in the section, just prime factorize the bases and you'll get some marks at least if you are gaining part marks. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to look at this question and say, okay, 2 is a prime number, 2 over there is a prime number, 2 is a prime number, so I don't really need to do much to those. I can just go ahead and apply the exponent laws when I simplify over here. But 4 is not a prime number, so I'm going to have to convert that. And then secondly, the next thing to observe in this question is that I'm dealing with a fraction divided by another fraction. Now when it comes to fractions, you write out the first fraction, which is 2 to the n plus 1 divided by 2 to the n times n minus 1. And then the division sign I'm going to change to multiply, and then I have to swap the denominator and the numerator. I need to flip this. So I'm going to raise that 2 to the n minus 1 raised to the n plus 1 divided by 4, which is actually 2 to the power of 2 if we have to prime factorize that, raised to the power of n plus 1. Okay, so now I can go ahead and I can simplify this, and very, very easily, all I need to do is I need to apply the exponent laws. Okay, so remember, let us do this over here. That's going to be 2 to the n plus 1 divided by 2, multiply out these exponents, 2 to the power of n squared minus n, multiplied by this thing over here. That's going to be n minus 1 times n plus 1. And if you've done the previous videos where we see n minus 1 multiplied by n plus 1, this is just a difference of squares, and that's going to give us n squared minus 1. So I'm going to put that in over there. That's 2 to the power of n squared minus 1. And the denominator is going to be, just take the 2 multiplied by n and then multiply it by 1, which is going to give me 2 to the 2n plus 2. Right. And so now I can go ahead and I can simplify this very easily. I can say, okay, I've got the same base divided by the same base, so I'm going to take that, and I'm going to say that's n plus 1, and I'm going to subtract the bottom, right? I just want to show you what that means. It means n plus 1 minus n squared minus n. And remember, when you are subtracting, these things have to multiply out, and that becomes n plus 1 minus n squared plus n. Okay, and that's a very important thing to note over there. So that's going to be n plus 1, n plus n is going to give me 2n, n plus n is going to give me 2n over there, right? 2 to the power of 2n, and plus 1 minus n squared. So that first fraction has been simplified. Now I'm going to multiply it by the second one. Let me just stick with blue there in the meantime. And that's going to be 2 to the n squared minus 1 minus 2n minus 2. Okay, and now the reality is that I'm just sitting with the same base throughout. And what I can do over here is I can just really just add all the exponents. So I'm going to say that's 2 to the power of 2n plus 1 minus n squared plus n squared minus 1 minus 2n minus 2, and that equates to the following. The 2n minus 2n cancels with each other. That's just 0 n's over there. Minus n squared plus n squared. Remember, there's a little 1 over there. Let's just make that 1 because I don't see it. Okay, and we're still cancelling out this 1, minus 1, that cancels out. There's plus 1, minus 1, there's none of that left. And that just leaves me with 2 to the negative 2. And 2 to the negative 2 is equal to 1 over 4. I'm just going to put that on the next slide. Remember, 2 to the power of negative 2, all you do is you flip the base, and you make that 1 over 2, and you raise that, and you change the exponent to positive. So that's 1 squared divided by 2 squared, according to the exponent laws, which then gives you 1 over 4. Okay, and so that's how I get 1/4 over there. So this entire thing simplifies to 1 over 4. Very, very simple, very easy. Just remember, the main thing to do here is prime factorize the bases, and then you're well on your way, and then apply the exponent laws, and yeah, that's it.